this is Russ. Hey, we're at the Spot Rotary Hot Pot in Skokie, Illinois. Yeah, this is a hot pot restaurant that opened up in early April. I asked the waiter when they opened, and they said they had a soft opening April 2nd for family and friends, and then they opened April 3rd, 2025. So we got there mid-May, so still a relatively new restaurant. And so a bunch of our relatives went there to check it out. Some of them have been there several times already. Yeah, very popular place for Chinese people who might want hot pot. So if you take a look at this, that thing that says the Spot, that is the thing that heats up the hot pot. So what a hot pot is, it's boiling soup broth, and you cook your food in the boiling soup broth, okay? You have a variety of different types of soup broths you can actually choose from. I happen to choose a mushroom-based soup broth. These are the sauces that you can put as dips for your meat after you get it. They also have some pre-made things. So while we're waiting for the soup broth and everything to be brought out, we picked up a couple of those. Now, it's a rotary hot pot, so if you take a look, there's like a conveyor belt. Now, many sushi places do something similar to this, but they put the various pieces of things you can put in your soup broth on the conveyor belt, and you can also order things too. This is pre-made stuff. This is a pork spring roll, which was actually very good. I had several of those while I was waiting, and even afterwards I had a few too. Now, I did get a little bit of fried rice over there, as you can see on my plate. Very hard to eat fried rice with chopsticks. These are imitation crab meat, and I'm just going to wait for the soup broth, and I'm going to put it in there. I noted that there's a lot of dishes to wash in a restaurant like this. There's dishes upon dishes. The guy in the back there, you see, it was our waiter. Very good service, I would have to say. Now, they are a new restaurant, so of course, obviously, they're working super hard to make sure that they have good service and good food at the time. We'll see how it goes after it's been there for a while. So I angled the camera so that you can't see everybody else. This is just me, so I apologize for the weird angles sometimes, but this is sesame ball, so it's got some red bean paste in there. Again, very good, very standard things. So I'm just kind of looking around to see what else there is. Mrs. Wright is handing various things off of the conveyor belt to us. They call it a rotary, but yeah, it's a conveyor belt. Here's the soup base. So it's mushroom soup base for me. That's tofu skin, sorry. Some ramen that you can put in. I got some sesame dip and some oyster sauce. Almost looks like a yin-yang there. Some other odds and ends that I had kind of gotten from Mrs. Wright. So what we did is we kept taking things and just consolidating them into the dishes, into one dish instead of multiple dishes, because there's just not enough table space to put everything. So, all right. So I'm going to put some things in the soup broth now. This is just some meatballs, and they tell you how long you should cook these for too on their menu. So I think the meatballs are at least 4 minutes you have to cook it for. You can see the steam coming out of that soup base, and I'll tell you, the heating plates are really powerful because it would boil that thing in a very short time. There's some tofu skin. Now, tofu skin, you gotta be real careful because it soaks up a lot of the broth, and it can get really hot if you're not careful. It's very good. Actually, everyone liked the tofu skin. Yeah, you gotta be careful. It's very hot. So hot pot seems to be a very popular thing for the Chinese. My personal favorite, I prefer to grill things. I'd probably prefer to go to a Korean barbecue over a hot pot place. But if you're a vegetarian, I will say go to the hot pot place, okay? Because you're gonna find lots of vegetable things. We didn't eat all that much meat. I ordered a brisket, and they thinly sliced this stuff. I ordered a brisket and lamb, and that's all I ordered. And you'll see it a little bit later, but yeah, we didn't eat too much meat, so I, I kept eating the meatballs because those were readily available. The other thinly sliced meat, you order it. They only allow you to do two types of meat at a time. I mean, you can order as much as you want, but only two at a time. And they said that the reason is because of to keep the amount of dishes off of there. But I think really it kind of regulates how many meat dishes they give out. Okay. Now, what is the cost of this? Well, we actually got a senior discount when we went there, and the senior discount's actually pretty significant. They give you $5 off of their normal price. I think it was around $20 or so per person, and everyone there was a senior. so we got our senior discounts, and they even gave a promotional thing with one of their drinks. Now, again, I didn't take the drink because it's sugary drinks. It's like a mango drink. But I did take it eventually at the end, and I gave it to Mrs. Wright so she could take it home. All right, so let's see what else we have here. I've got ramen. It's very hard to pick up ramen with these chopsticks. I had a hard time working it. The Chinese chopsticks tend to be a little longer, a little thicker. These disposable ones with the really sharp, pointy ends, I have a hard time dealing with all the time. I just cannot pick things up very easily with them. Now, the one thing that I noted that was interesting is that when the meat came out, you still have to use the same chopsticks to pick up the raw stuff as you do that you're eating. So there's not separate chopsticks for that. Of course, you could boil your chopstick too, which is what I ended up doing. After I put the meat in there, I would just kind of leave the chopstick there for a little while to kill off anything else that might be there. So as you see, I'm still eating the meatballs. All right, here's some ramen and a little bit of the imitation crab. Now I left the imitation crab in there a little bit too long. I think this is really soft. So, oh well, it is what it is, right? Now, where is this restaurant? Well, it's right across from the Skokie Theater. So if you're in the general area and you know the area, you remember the old Skokie Theater, it's literally across the street from the Skokie Theater. Yeah. Everything looked really nice in there. The decor was very good. Service was very good. They do charge a 20% tip fee if you have a group of people. So be aware of that. So we got a discount on the senior discount. What they did with the tip, though, is they actually added in the cost of the free drinks that they were promoting. These are, just like mango drinks and whatever things. They added that in there and then added the tip to that, but then they took the price of the drink off. So they still got tipped on the drink. So overall, in my opinion, it was still very expensive. I think by the time we were finished, each person paid around $28, $29, which included the price of the hot pot plus the tax and plus the tip. So in my mind, I thought it was very expensive because really for the price that we paid here, it was actually more expensive than Royal Buffet. Now, if you remember Royal Buffet, we went there, we had a lot of meat, we had a lot of fish, we had a lot of seafood, which are more expensive items overall. So if you look at it that way, even with our discount, senior discount of $5 off on this thing, this was still more expensive than Royal Buffet. So to me, it's more of a novelty that you get to try something a little bit different. But in terms of value of the food, I think you get more at some place like Royal. Okay. Now, having said that, many of my in-laws actually preferred this place because they tend to be more vegetarian. I mean, they do eat meat and everything, but they don't eat a lot of it. Unlike me, who eat a lot of meat, my preference would be something that gives me more meat. Okay. And this is why I said I personally would probably prefer to go to something like either a Royal Buffet or something like a Korean barbecue place. Okay. Now, I haven't gone to a Korean barbecue place in quite a number of years. So maybe one day we can try doing that. I've asked Mrs. Wright if she wants to go, and she always says no because she doesn't really eat that much meat. So for her, it wouldn't be worth it. For me, that's another story. So here's the lamb I'm putting in right now. So you see, it's not a whole lot that they give you, and you can only get 2 of these plates at a time. Now you can ask for more, but I tell you, it does take a while before they bring it to you. Now there is a time limit on this hot pot place. It's an hour and a half. We were there a little over an hour. I would say maybe hour and 10 minutes or so, something like that. So, and we were plenty full. I felt satisfied with the. You can see how fast this cooks. It's basically done already. You see that? It's already done. It's so thinly sliced. It cooks up really quickly. And again, using these chopsticks, I was having a hard time getting things out of there. I didn't want this thing hanging over there because it just burned up over there. But yeah, I have a hard time working these chopsticks. I much prefer the Chinese chopsticks, which are a little flatter. There's not a right sharp, pointy thing to it, and they're longer and a little thicker. But this is pretty common chopsticks that you'll get because they're disposable, right? So I put a little bit of the sesame paste on it, give it a little bit extra flavor. It's okay. It wasn't bad. I would say on a special occasion, I would go to something like this just to spend time and share things with the family or friends. Would I come here myself personally? No, I don't think so. Simply because I don't prefer to just have mostly veggies. These are some different types of mushrooms. So we had shiitake mushrooms in there. I don't know what they call these straw mushrooms. I have no idea what those things are called. I'm gonna take out some of the meat again. I would say that the waiter was very personable. We had a lot of fun talking with him. He gave us more information about when the restaurant started and how things were going. Overall, I would say they've been fairly popular already. They weren't filled by the time we were there. We got there around 12 noon, so it's still taking some time for people to know that they're there. Now, as far as music in the background, yeah, they play mostly pop music. So you're not expecting to hear anything like Chinese music or anything like that. It's just, top 40 type pop songs, Americanized pop songs. There you go. So because of that, of course, we have to do the voiceover again. But yeah, even the drinks, when they asked if we wanted some free drink, it took a while to get it. Yeah, it doesn't happen right away. And same thing with the meat order. We did not reorder. We only ordered our 2, and that's it. Everybody else did not order additional. Now, I've been to places where I've ordered the meats many times, but I didn't do it this time. So I'm just kind of looking at all the things that it's coming down the Rotary. Now, here's the one thing that we said: if you were closer to where the conveyor belt starts, you get everything quicker. We were at the tail end of the thing, so of course everybody who's seen the things come through have already grabbed it. So we always ended up with the last things that come through. So it was kind of difficult to find, certain types of foods because maybe other tables have already taken it before you've gotten to it. So if you ever go here, request to be closer to where the Rotary starts. You don't want to be towards the end like we were. So we were near the front of the restaurant. You want to be towards the back of the restaurant. This is fried tofu. Again, fried tofu can soak up the broth, so be very careful when you bite into something like that. Yeah, they generate a lot of dishes. I mean, we were going through dishes upon dishes. The guy spends more time picking up dishes than anything else. I mean, if you were to manually have to wash the dishes, it would be a nightmare if you were a dishwasher. But, my family was basically saying, they have automatic dishwashers now. All they have to do is load it. But still, it's a lot of cleaning of dishes. You can see the steam coming out. You have to play with the heating plate because if you put it on hot, it will boil that thing up really quickly. So oftentimes I left it on low. Sometimes I even turned it off. They will replenish the soup base for you. If it starts evaporating or if you end up, drinking some of it because it's in your fried tofu or something. I don't know if you can swap it out though. You have a choice of soup bases to get. You can get things like miso soup. You can get what I got was mushroom. You can get I don't know, some type of kimchi based soup base. A couple of other things. Tom yum if you're into Thailand's tom yum. So there's different types, but I took the standard mushroom. They have chicken base as well. I don't know if you can swap that out though. I would tend to think you might be able to if you asked them to swap out. If you said, okay, I'm tired of the same base, but we all kept what we had. The thing is with a place like this, unlike the Korean barbecue, if you go in there, you're gonna smell like a barbecue place by the time you walk out because the smell will just infuse in your clothing. Okay, but on a hot pot restaurant, yeah, that's not the case. It's just boiling soup base, so you're not frying up things or anything like that. So you don't end up smelling like the restaurant when you walk out. Okay, you got to be careful with this fried tofu because it's going to be hot. It was hot, but I'm handling it. Yeah, it's steaming up the glasses. I was sitting across from my brother-in-law. We were talking about steaming up your glasses. He doesn't wear glasses. But if you look, you can see my glasses have actually fogged up every now and then. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. If you're interested in trying something different, okay, you might want to come to some place like a Chinese hot pot. Yeah, give it a try. It's gonna be a lot of vegetables because that's the big thing. but you're gonna have some basic things. Like you see, I'm still eating meatballs. Because really the other meat was taking forever. If you order it and it's so thinly sliced, in two bites it's gone anyway. So I figured the easiest thing to do if you wanted some meat was just to eat their meatballs. And that's what I did. I also went back later and I got some more of the spring rolls and the sesame balls. Again, this is not special things. It's just little finger foods, but that's what kept me going. Otherwise, yeah, I would say it was fairly expensive for eating just veggies, boiling veggies. So, anyways, yeah, would I recommend it? Yeah, I would recommend it. Just know that it it is fairly expensive for what it is, but the place is very nice and clean and new, and we had a good time going there. I'll show you the drink also that came to us, and it came towards the end because I reordered one so I can give it to Mrs. Wright so she can bring it back home for her, because everyone was allowed to have one free one. So she says, "Well, get another one, and then I'll just bring it back home." So we did. So I think I ordered her a passion fruit one, something like that. So here's the drinks. It'll be coming through in a second here.